What up, chat? Let's go live chat. What up, Toasted? What up, BL? How you guys doing? Evening, Wills. What up, Polar Bear? Aiden's, Mr. Plum, Boar Tusk, Chev. How y'all doing? Let's get our normal poll going out there. Got absolutely rinsed today. Damn. I mean, today's definitely going to be a day where I can see that happening. Because we started out with a range, then saw a pretty steady downtrend. I actually shockingly caught a piece of the downtrend. We were talking about it in the trading floor, a few of us together. But I caught a nice move off the downtrend on some options. And then was kind of flat into the end of the day. Good, man. How are you? I'm always good, brother. You traded Boar, what size account were you on if you're trading 4 NQ? Because that is diabolical for most accounts. What up, Trippy? How'd the rest of you guys do today, chat? Obviously, BL said he got rinsed. Boar was in 4 NQ, so that doesn't sound... It either ended way too well or pretty fucking bad if you're trading 4 of those. Brother, you wanted to get a feel with 4 NQ on a 50K Tradeify? You get rinsed in a 2-second candle during New York with 4 NQ on a 50K. Starting fresh today, BL, as long as you start with that fresh mindset, hell yeah. You made $400 on 4 NQ. Oh, man, how long did you hold? What up, Luke? If you say you held for like 30 seconds, cool. If you held for like an hour, that's just, there had to be pain involved. What up, Bish? I'm always good. What up, Anth? Half passed another eval today and did a little 150 on an existing funded. Hell yeah. First time here, Chevy. Is it the first time on my stream or first time on the network in general? Either way, appreciate you showing up. Okay, so you're normally on, it looks like, Jake's. Yeah. Nice 5-point move for 400 profit. Hell yeah, BL. Just 5 minutes. I just minimized the trade evade screen. Wait, was your price target $400? Network yesterday was day 1. First for you here. Appreciate you being here. What direction you think it's heading? I'll dive into that in a few minutes. What I like to do is let a few people get on stream. And then once the stream numbers pop up a little bit, usually like 12-ish minutes into stream, I'll break down and do it more. If we hit 100 just before that in like 10 minutes, then I'll do it then. Brian, my man. We've been good lately with chat. Chat's been vibing lately. Market hasn't been horrible. Even though we've been range. Well, actually, market has been pretty horrible, if we're being honest. During this session, market has been absolutely atrocious. So who am I lying to? Polar Bear, that, and it's the kind of Allen method where if I dive into it right now, in 3 minutes, people are going to ask questions about the charts. What all do you guys trade on here? Primarily ES for me. I mainly trade the S&P, especially lately while the indices have been in more of a range. I know every other one of the hosts trades NQ. My problem is I don't trade full-size NQ. I trade micros. And typically during this session, you'll randomly see larger like 15 to 30 point wicks on MNQ. that don't show up on NQ. So I just don't like to trade it during this session. What up, MD? Of course. And then if there's like a really nice larger time frame trade on something like RTY or YM, I have no problem taking it. Occasionally I will trade NQ, just not very often. And then if oil is doing well, I'll trade that for an entire week straight. Ah, okay, BL. What up, 8 trades? I think I already said that. Playbear showed off on Lamelli's stream. Felt lucky to make $0, no skill at all, just pure luck. I mean, Bor, if you're ripping 4 NQ on a 50K, at that point, you are riding hope, hoping to do well on it. All right, MD. Yeah, so I'll be showing exactly what I'm looking for. What up, Esso? Wait, does he actually have a bot set up? Yeah, they must stick with ES. Bore. Most people, when they go to ES, stay with the promised land. They do. I don't want to touch my fund in this PA. Don't do it. What up, NQ? Tend to only trade the indices mostly for just the first 40 minutes to an hour, trading with 100K. Chevy, is that during this session or is that during New York session? What up, Diana? How you been? More straightforward than yes. Hell yeah. Yeah, Midget's positioning is lovely to use if you get it. All right, Chevy, the main reason that I asked what session, because most of the time, the early session of Asia, well, Globex technically is slower. Once you get past that 8 p.m. window, 8 p.m. Eastern, volume sometimes picks up. For the most part, usually picks up. Lately, it hasn't been too much, but volume picks up a little bit. And then after like 10 p.m., it picks up again. So after 8 p.m. and after 10 p.m. are my two favorite times to trade. I think you wicked me out. If I was the same trade in ES, would have been fine. It's always like that, 2B. Diana, when's your birthday? Bro, Lucid hasn't fixed my shit. Brandon, it hasn't fixed it at all? I saw they've been talking a lot and been fixing a bunch of accounts. I figured they would have fixed it by now. If not, just message their support. See what happens. Friday the 3rd. Is it Friday the 13th? No. Oh, your birthday's a big one. I'm not going to ask. I'll be polite. I just know it likely starts with a 0. When will PA be better? I mean, it hasn't been like horrible. Last night we caught a long throughout this. I wouldn't say this PA was terrible because it even continued after stream ended. Right? We caught the long from like here to I think 80, just above 80. So I think we got out on this break last night. I literally just deleted the trade before stream, so shouldn't have done that. But it ended up getting this decent trend afterwards, up another roughly 6-ish points from close. So we're getting solid price action. It's just been moving very slow. The market's in a huge spot of uncertainty when you get a lower volume period, like early overnight session, early Globex, you're going to see consolidation. This time slot definitely goes through phases. It's okay. I'm happy to be here. 65. Hell yeah, Diana. Happy birthday. Brandon, I'm just saying, usually Lucid support is insanely good. So what it likely is they have a mass amount of tickets they're trying to deal with. I'm sure they'll get to you. What I would do is just focus on another account for now. Eventually, it will be fixed, I'm assuming. Just because Lucid usually does it right. My birthday is August 16th. My boyfriend is August 15th. Well, at least you guys only got to celebrate one thing. And you guys are prop firm too. I found Rick on Instagram. Didn't even know you guys have these sessions. I'm like a newborn baby here. Chevy, we're not a prop firm. We don't have a prop firm. We're partnered with prop firms like affiliations, you know? And this is all, unlike the prop firms, they obviously have marketing budgets, all of that. This is all funded off of Jake. All of us being here is funded off of Jake's. All the 90% of the accounts we give away, 95% of the accounts we give away are funded off of Jake. Do you ever buy Lucids with the daily loss limit? Polar, you mean intraday daily loss limit? If so, no. Jake should fund my life. Well, if you win a giveaway account and do well, technically he did. Figured that, bought a TradeFi? Hell yeah. The only thing we celebrate is my birthday? Sounds about right. We're going to find all the info. What info exactly are you looking for? Let me look at these charts really quick. Then we'll dive into everything. I don't like the look at the moment. What up, Maverick? What up, Lambo? All right, chat. Let's look at some charts, shall we? I'm going to start with the 4 indices on a broad scale. Just looking at the dailies. I wish they didn't change pricing. Everybody's changing pricing, Polar Bear. Everybody is. Every single prop firm out there at the moment is just changing pricing. Mind you, does it suck to pay more money? Yes. The way I view it is they're protecting their bottom line, especially after the shit that happened with Alpha. I don't mind paying $10 extra for an account if I know it's for the longevity of the company and the stability overall, if I'm looking for payouts. That's just like my perspective on it. Obviously, if you go through a bunch of accounts, it's going to add up over time. In the end, though, that little bit shouldn't be that impactful. But if it's going to help them stay afloat to where they can actually pay me out, wonderful. With daily loss limit, it is cheaper. Well, yeah, if you have the option to custom plan any account and you go with the cheapest version, it's going to have the strictest rules. So it's going to be cheaper. All right, looking at the indices. A few things to note here. 1, ES and NQ did close below yesterday's lows. Not great off the start, even though we are still within the daily consolidations, right? We have ES still holding the broader support, but decent rejection with these 2 candles. Not the greatest look. Similar thing with NQ. NQ's a little bit stronger with the lower wick. Not much of a difference, though. Still closed below yesterday's low. RTY, slight failure to go higher in a heavy range. I'm not bullish or bearish on this thing. This one will most likely be the heavily impacted one if CPI either comes in hot or lower than expected. So just small caps in general, usually those are the highest impact off of inflation. Something to pay attention to there tomorrow. If we do end up getting a continuation on that, pretty interesting. And then YM looks pretty rough. Consolidation after a big sell-off bar. Near the lows. Big failure on the daily. Not the greatest. I would expect this to at least hit today's lows. Watch how it reacts to it. But I'm going to focus on ES and NQ here. So as we look at ES, we have 2 areas that I'm going to pay attention to. The overnight open, which we just printed, and today's lows. Today's lows sit around 77.38. Similar to yesterday. If we break below that, we can look for a bit of a continuation to the downside. I really don't expect an aggressive trend before CPI tomorrow. We'll see if it gives it, but I'm not expecting anything overly aggressive. Looking at the 4-hour, did break the recent low, still within the structure overall. Still have a firm support near literally today's lows to like that 730s area we've been watching. If we pull back, that's going to be my lower targets. Probably more of a hit and run style trade, even though it is 20, 30-ish points. Wouldn't be a bad target. So if we can end up getting a rejection back lower, I'm open to it. Today, I'm going to trade the intraday price action. I'm going to trade off the 15. I'm going to trade off the 5 and probably the 30 minute. Pay attention to those time frames. See what it's going to tell us. Because yes, this is an hourly downtrend. But if we break back above this bigger area we've been watching, 75, 56-ish in the open, we could easily push back up towards 64s. And then where we were the last 2 days, around 73s. So the open above it or holds of lower time frame structure. Like if we continue to hold this 50s and get something that I'm interested in longing, I have no problem taking an early stab. After that, if I want to take more trades, if that one gets stopped out, I'll wait for a little more conviction. But over the open, I get more bullish. Under 50s, I start to lean towards 38, possibly lower. NQ, not going to be a whole lot different. It's down at this consolidation range, unlike ES, which I believe is slightly above, ever so slightly above. Did hold this again. We've been down here. What was that, Sunday? Last Thursday, actually, we were down in this range where we eventually got this breakout. If we hold this, we're just holding a broader support. For NQ, though, it has a stronger 4-hour close here. If it gets above the opening, gets above the prior 4-hour high at 676.50s, it has some room. You can be reserved on targets looking for 750, 760. If we get a bigger trend, today's highs is not far. At 885, 240 points. If this thing actually wants to get a continuation, it easily could. So those are the main two charts that I'm just going to be watching. Mainly watching around the open. I'll be watching for divergences similar to yesterday because there's not an overly this is bullish, this is bearish thesis out there right now. So it's just what are these charts going to do in the near term is what I'm looking to trade on them. Isn't there a gap on ES from a week ago? To be Frankie, there's a gap on ES from 6 months ago, 12 months ago, probably 3 years ago, whenever COVID was, 5 years ago. There's a lot of gaps on ES. They don't always have to fill. Depending on where it is structurally, maybe we could fill it. But if you're talking from a week ago, are you talking this? Where it pulled back to 314 instead of, oh, that's NQ. You talking that gap? We don't have to fill that. If we sell off down here, eventually this will likely get filled. ES will likely test 7,500 again and fill that. I'm not targeting that though. If we do break this structure, do I think we can get a big move to the downside? Yeah. I think we could go all the way back down to 76.30s without much hesitation in the way. Because when we got through this, all we did was bull candle straight up. There's not much support in this area except for back here. So yeah, if we do end up breaking structure, I could see a decent downside trending. But I'm not going to sit here and look at this gap waiting for it to get filled the way I trade. Little slight relative strength and weakness divergence on ES and NQ. Yeah, to be Frankie, that's why I always bring it up whenever people talk about gaps because they're everywhere. Like you can go way back. There's a gap right here from May last year. That's saying ES needs to go down to 59.70 to fill that. There's another one right here, and there's more along. Any larger move we get, there's going to be gaps that don't get fully filled. But chat, obviously I do have a poll open. Which way you guys leaning today? Upside or downside? I think if we go lower on ES, it'll be choppy till CPI. Now we're trading overnight session, in my opinion. Rav, we'll see. Because it may not be worth it if you're looking for larger moves, but you can catch 8 points on ES, 10 points. There will be moves throughout the session. It's not like we're just going to sit within this overall structure of 6 points for the next 14 hours, 13 hours till data. All right, A-trades. I'm not going to lie, that might be the first time I've heard that. Where do you think this chart's going to go? To the right. You're not wrong. It's going to keep going to the right. Drop tips, is that supposed to say down? Because it actually autocorrect, or it translated it for me. MD, it depends. If we start the overall tensions over in the Middle East again, yeah, the market will likely head lower. Oil will likely continue seeing the buying pressure that it's currently getting. If those tensions pop back off, which doesn't seem like it's going well at the moment, then I'll be more interested in oil, right? More interested in seeing gold probably pull back if the Strait gets closed again. Even though Iran did come out and say that today it was closed. Not much of a move off of that, though. So we'll see what plays out. I truly don't think the market's waiting on CPI. I think CPI is most likely priced in. We're just, as a world, waiting on the conflict over there to see, is it going to be more so resolved or not? I still don't think it's going to be resolved, though. Nice little wedge for me currently. Yeah, it's just what direction you think it's going to go. Right now, NQ does look weaker. I'll give you that. It does. Where's the pull at? Pull is 37%. Oh, we have 37% bullish, 37% range, 27% bearish. I got to start taking the range out of the equation because you guys just pick that every day because we've ranged the last like 8 days. Maybe the open will get some movement, but a bigger range for the night, in my opinion. Yeah, Rob, it's something you can trade. Obviously, if you think it's going to be a range-bound day and you don't want to trade it, don't. How am I supposed to fade the chat with those numbers? BL, if you're fading the chat, it's getting worse, dude. 34% bullish, 34% range, 31% bearish. You can't fade anything. You'd have to open a position every single direction to fade the chat. They want range, which means you got to throw, what, a straddle on? You got to pull out the options. NQ looks want to do same as yesterday. Bit up, bit down. Probably. But yesterday we caught something. So if we can just catch a little piece, I'm in. See, Blambo, it's when you have that thesis that you're going to full send whichever way it breaks is when it's likely going to break back into that range, give a big failure, and then go the other direction. Happens every time. Perfectly. By the way, chat, did we do a giveaway yesterday? I don't think we did. I don't think we did. Let me look at the sheet. All right. Sheet's okay. Could you please go over GC? Yes. Hi, you didn't really say what you look for other than see if it goes up or down. What about that wedge? How do you guys usually resolve that? What would you accept for a trade? Sorry, I'm being a biatch. Solo, you are chilling. In this session, especially if you're newer to the session, you can ask whatever questions you want to ask. This price typically moves pretty damn slow. But like what I'm watching right now is I trade a lot of structure. What I see on the lower time frames, I don't have it marked because I just don't want a bunch of ranges drawn on the screen. We obviously have a clear little support here just above 50s. If we hold that, we could easily push back to the open and then attempt to break it. But if we break below this, then I start to lean more bearish as we're setting a downtrend. What I'm paying attention to is NQ and ES here. Just watching how these are respecting this little area. They look like, ES looks like it could easily go either direction. NQ looks like it wants downside. So I'm waiting for a little more conviction there. I want conviction across multiple names when the market's more so range bound. And on my other monitor, I'll watch the 15 minutes on all of the charts just to give me a little extra conviction. I'm looking for divergences between them. I trade correlations and negative correlations between these names and assets like oil, assets like the dollar, which isn't open yet. And then occasionally we do look at gold, and I will go over gold because someone did ask it in chat. But I trade a lot of multi-time frame analysis and structure. If you see me go to get in a trade, you'll see me flip through time frames like this really quick. all I'm doing is analyzing the different charts, different patterns, and seeing if it's a structure that I genuinely want to trade. As for the wedge aspect that you mentioned, I'm not going to trade something like, if we're just looking at this, I don't even know how you guys want to draw this, but something like that. I'm not going to be looking to trade that, because a lot of times you'll anticipate, especially trend line trading, you'll anticipate, oh, this is breaking back higher over the trend line and it's going to go up to wherever. It doesn't have to. This can go straight sideways and that entire trend line is completely voided. For me, we're in a range, right? We have the high of the range up at the open, which is where this highlighted area is. We have the lower end of the smaller range right here around 5150s, 51-ish. And whichever way we break out of that, I'm willing to take this. I want to trade with the trend. We're not necessarily in a trend, but on the lower time frames, I'm also willing to buy off supports. I'm also willing to short off resistances if I have the thesis and conviction around it. So like, let's say I'm bearish. We get a push up to the open. If I think the probability of us not getting above it is stronger, I'm willing to take a short when we get up there and just throw a tighter stop above it. Appreciate you, right guy? Gold. Let me pull up this on my other monitor so I can watch. In case you start to do something. I mean, it looks like we're at a point where we could hold this low on ES. I just don't think I'm willing to put a risk on that yet. Like, it could hold. You could throw a tighter stop at 51, 2.5 points. Not crazy. I just don't think that I'm in love with it yet. There's really not a whole lot to say on gold. Gold has a... Why am I buffering? I shouldn't be buffering. Okay, we're good. So it was like a couple second buffer. Yeah, that wasn't a bad buffer at all. It's also storming here, so internet doesn't love that. But chat, what was the last part you guys heard? Because I know I was going over gold. I don't know how long that buffer was. Solo, don't be starting beef. I'm rereading the chat. What up, Marks? Turn on the LEDs, buffering more FPS. Are you saying the LEDs in the background? That's not going to impact it that much. It's just because it's storming outside. I live in the middle of nowhere. What up, Trade Wop? How you doing, my man? But no, if I buffer today, it's just because I live in the middle of nowhere and it's storming. But no, the last thing I said on gold is it's not a daily chart that I really want to short. Do I think you can get like a higher risk to reward on it? Yeah. I just don't think this is a daily structure that I would want to short, because it can easily do something like this, where you get a quote unquote bearish close and then just see the next day trend to the upside. I'm also talking on a broader scale. If you want to trade during the session, do you? There's the fake out blend, but I told you what it's likely going to do. That's how it keeps us in a range. Get a little bit of fake out. We set the LEDs to red, so the shit works for me. Vantis, what you talking about? What are you shorting? I could do that. Whatever. All right, they're bugged out. You get one red, one green. All right, it's not changing. You get one red, one green. That's how we're living. Storming in Atlanta here. So it is supposed to storm for the next 8 days, I believe. Now we're going to range. Yeah, probably. Probably. Unfortunate, Vantus. It's just what you got to live with. All right, chat. Now, mind you, we put this poll up and you guys know when you click on the poll, you don't see the percentages. This is what we're currently looking to trade. We have 34% bullish, 33% bearish, and 32% range. Nobody knows what they want in this damn market. Looks like the poll is ranging. All right, that's an underappreciated comment. Right, you see the percentages after you click on it. I was saying before you click on it, you don't see them. We want wins. World's news trends. We all want wins, my man. We all want them. We are green on the week during this session. I mean, it's not like insane. I think we're up $600, somewhere around there. Maybe a little more. No, yesterday we were up probably like $700. DXY crazy volatility yesterday for a usually boring chart. It did, and didn't it close relatively bearish on the structure? Relatively on the daily. Nothing crazy though. A lot of these charts don't tell me much. VIX continues to be overall bearish. I don't know why Bitcoin's up there. But nothing, I mean, that's what has me okay with potential upside is just the way VIX and the dollar work. But that's on a broader scale. Let's make 3 minis in the next trade. I thought about doing something kind of like that on a self-funded account where I throw like $1,000 or $1,500 in the account, whatever I need or whatever I think's okay. And I start by trading one micro. And after every winning trade, I add one more micro. I don't know why. It just sounds like an idea to just do on the side for fun. But it sounds like it could be really good. Or, really bad in the end. But sounds like a solid idea. So that way, every time you're doing good, you size into positions. And then whenever you're doing bad, you don't size up. Let's do it. I got to fund an account first. I'm not doing that on a funded or an eval. It's just not worth it. But no, I think it'd be fun. Because by the time you get 9 wins, you're at 1 mini. That account should be well over like $2,000, $2,500 easily. And then you have a solid risk on it. What's the best time to trade NQ? New York session. I'm going to long shake my head. I mean, Erdo, we haven't moved yet. Mitzel, actually with MES, you need 50. So you could easily do that. But I personally love the idea. I think I'm going to do it on a self-funded account. I just got to fund the account, which will take a few days unless I wire it. Well, no, right, guys? That's the point of the poll. You guys can't change. I can always redo the poll, but I feel like it's going to end the exact same way. You've been in a long since the open. So you held through that initial drawdown, and now you're just chilling. ACH transfer would fund it overnight. I've done that multiple times on Tradeovate, and it's taken like 3 to 4 days. And I've had the account for 5 years. So short since the open? Okay, so we got 2 people fading each other. You just did it and now trading it? I guess I'll have to do it. $250. Hell yeah. No, I mean, self-funded account's definitely the way to go if you can do it. That's why I want to start one, but I'm not going to trade aggressive on it. I'm just going to take base hits for a while. I don't mind targeting like 20, 30 points on ES, but it's going to be smaller size. I just love the idea of compounding and growing it while compounding the profits as you're doing well. I'm getting funded, no payouts. My bank says no. Valid. Doug, whose stream did you win an account on? By the way, I don't know if... Hang on, let me make sure I get the name right. Because I remember part of the name of who won 2 days ago on my last giveaway. Because they're active in stream. They've been in multiple streams. They're usually on. I have not received a DM at all. It was Tris Trades NQ. Still have not received a DM if you're on here at the moment. Jake. All right, Doug, hang on 1 second. What I'm going to do, because obviously if there's an issue with the code, I want to let him know. I'm going to throw that in the stream chat, the Discord stream chat, not the stream chat, and let him know. Shoot him a DM as well on the DM where he sent it to you. And if you do it by 6 p.m. Central, it goes pretty quickly. After 6 p.m. it funds 6 a.m. Central. It's probably part of my issue. I've probably just done it late, and then it just does it the next few days. Tried that when I got to a mini, lost it all, held too long, prayed. Well, yeah, Anthony, as you scale, your risk has to scale with it. You still got to be disciplined in the end. You can't get up to like $2,500, send a mini and go, nah, we ain't following stop losses. You still got to be strict. What up, discipline? Gonna get my payout when my account gets to 2 mil. What kind of account are you? What's an RL account? That part didn't carry over, got greedy. But Anthony, what that tells you is now you know the sizing you likely should use, right? You got up to 1 mini and then you got super greedy on a trade. In theory, at that point in time in your trading, you just weren't ready for a mini. Do you trade US 30 live during New York session? No, I don't stream during New York session. I don't trade US 30. I trade futures market. Because I believe US 30 is 4x for the most part, isn't it? I think it might be a quiet session with CPI tomorrow. Brandon, that's the thesis we're coming in with. To be fair, though, this is just another session. We are on, what, day 8 at the moment of more so range besides yesterday. So 7 out of the last 8 days, we've sat in a tighter range. It ain't something that's not expected at like with the current market conditions we're in. Eight to nine. I mean, I will say, we've been capitalizing on what we can. We've caught a few trades within the ranges we've gotten, which is why we've been, if I trade today, it's a hit and run mindset. Same thing as the past week. Because that's the current conditions we're in. I'm trading with that mindset until we get proven that, hey, Asia session's ready to be great again and we're ready to get some trends. Chat, by the way, we didn't do a giveaway yesterday, so we will do one at the end of stream today. Since I'm just putting this up between you guys and me, y'all already know why I can't put a number on the screen, and it's a dumb reason. But if we get, what are we going to do? We got 150 people in here already. Only 45 likes, which is a little disrespect. I even liked it on my own account to help you guys. Let's say if we get 170, I'll run it early. Just because there's going to be a lot of people in and out. So if we get those numbers up, or if I notice them doing well and not getting like botted, we'll run it. Other than that, though, I'm anticipating it at the end of stream. So if we get a decent amount of likes, I'll run it earlier. Dude, TP limit orders, we're getting reverse on trade copy it today, essentially flipping my position on all 11 accounts in my farm. For a trade sinker, has had this issue before. So if anybody ever asks why I don't use third-party copiers, that is the exact reason I always answer. I will not use third-party copiers because they've made so many mistakes that I've seen. I'm not willing to put that risk on a third-party account. Like, let's say you had decent accounts. Minimum, you're talking $1,100 if the trade copier messes up and blows all those accounts. I was saying it last night. I say it every time someone asks. I will not use a third-party copier. Because for me, too, it's not aggressively hard. And if I want to copy trade, let's say I find a trade I love and I want to take it on 2 different firms. I have 2 tabs open on Google Chrome and I just enter on one, put a stop, click the other one, enter on that one, put a stop. During this session, you're not going to get that much momentum. And if you do, you just missed the trade on one. But for me, I cannot get behind third-party copiers because of the mistakes they make. Agreed, Synth. It is a huge risk just for that reason alone where you said it was flipping your positions on all 11 accounts. I'm not willing to do that. I would rather miss trades on certain accounts than risk losing them all. PM movement maybe the slowest I've seen this quarter. I don't know. Did we see movement slower than this yet? I think we have. Maybe here. No, that was a whole 6 points. We are currently in 3 points. Okay, yeah, this is slower than we've been getting. I'll give that one to you. Diana, that's the story I hear way too much. I've tried that one time and it's the death of all my accounts. If they agree that they'll replace all my accounts when orders are messed up, sure, give it a shot. Unless I get that written in documentation, I ain't using it. How long is the first payout from Lucid Take requested yesterday? Funds still haven't hit the account. Jag, that doesn't sound right. Because my first payout from Lucid, I did live on stream in the Discord, and it was sub 60 seconds. My longest payout ever from Lucid was like 20 minutes or like 22 minutes. Did you do the KYC, link your bank account, all of that? Yeah, I've never had a payout from Lucid over 22 minutes. Not sin, vent away. But for me, I mean, worst case, try it and just have different tabs open. If you're trading 6 different prop firms, yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. But the way I usually trade is I'll stack 3-4 accounts on one firm. If I'm in the copy trading phase and mood, if I'm doing well with payouts, that's when I copy trade more. And then I'll stack 3-4 on another prop firm. I just don't use like 5 different prop firms. I only use now 3. Hunting pips. You saying CPIs tomorrow? Yeah. That's likely part of the reason we're just stuck. Gotten 32,500 on the last 2.5 weeks from Lucid. My man's crushing it. You live with them yet? Or are you just in the funded aspect with them? Wait, we doing CPI? CPI is tomorrow. Tomorrow morning pre-market. We have what? CPI tomorrow, PPI Thursday. Yeah, we got CPI tomorrow morning, Wednesday, pre-market. Obviously, crude inventories, that's always there. And then PPI Thursday, pre-market. So next 2 days, we do have some data. Not on this stream, though. We're doing the CPI move trade. World news trends. If you are talking about the social media, TikTok-ish traders that, let's say this is tomorrow morning at 8:25, throw a buy order up here and a sell order down here and hope for the best. No, I ain't doing that. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And I say it every single time we have news. All right, Mitzel. You about to get a 10-second. Still not live. I'm one payout away from 5. I'm shocked I haven't tried to at least hint at taking you live yet. Yeah, Vantis. Lucid, no matter what, Lucid and Tradeify payout should always be within a few hours. Unless something's going wrong, like something's not fully set up with your account, maybe would be my guess. I'm not saying for you, just in general. What stream are you doing it? I will not be live for CPI. I probably won't. Here's the way I trade news. And the way I deal with CPI and pre-market data, even FOMC. I do this wonderful thing of hitting the power button on my computer or not hitting it yet on my computer in the morning. And then like 9 o'clock comes around, I'll turn it on. I don't even care what CPI does. I don't care what way we go. I don't care how big of a move it makes. I want nothing to do with the charts when that move's happening. Not a single thing. I don't think Jake will be live for it. If you're looking for someone to watch, Jake usually hops on at 9 a.m.-ish. So that'd be like 30 minutes before his stream. Never understood why they do that. So just degenerates. In general, it is. No, usually people blow their accounts when they try that. Because the volatility, you're not going to get the fills that you want to get filled. Oh, that's the way. I haven't watched a data release in months, to be honest. I've been on Jake's stream or Lamelli's stream when they've watched FOMC, but I have not actually sat at my computer with a broker open looking to trade. Top 7 restricted it last week. Good. Every single prop firm should restrict news trading. Even though, well, actually, to be fair, they shouldn't. I think every single prop firm, on evals at least, should let people trade the news. Because if degens want to give them more money to keep them afloat, let them rip. Let them do their thing. Interesting structure. Hourly close up near the highs. Nice push. See if we get a stronger close into Asia Open in 10 minutes. I'll likely wait the 10 minutes. If this move rips before then, oh well. I'm going to wait the 10 minutes, see what Asia Open does, trade off of that, and then look for that conviction. Top step is good for CPI gambling. Do you have a max payout withdraw in Lucid, like daily, weekly? MD with Lucid, it's, I forget what the daily, I don't know if the daily has a cap or not, where it's daily payouts. Their payouts with the pro account is, I think, 3,000. That is every 3 days. Their payouts with the flex account is 2,000, which is every 5 trading days. But that's per account, and you can have up to 5 accounts. There's also a new firm that I'm trying, Jake's using, I think Mitch is using, I think Alan's using. It's Trade Seat. It's the one that is in the pinned link. They have a daily payout policy in which there's uncapped daily payouts up to $100,000, which is nuts. Coming straight from my stop loss. It'd be like that, SO. $45 to an hour after news. Sometimes there's decent setups with structure. Yeah, Solo, you can always find decent setups after news, unless we get a 2.5 to 3% move. Then maybe not. But if you see a news candle happen, if you wait 30 minutes to an hour, there's usually. MD, it's not really awful when you're talking about the entry price on those accounts is $100. Vish, what did I say? I thought I said funded seat. But you have to think of the company as well. I'm okay with companies having a cap on the payout. Oh, I might have Vish. It is funded seat if I said it wrong. I'm okay with them having a cap on the payout because it's going to protect their bottom line. They have to be able to be profitable and make money to be able to continue to make payouts. And Alpha's a good example. They had an account where they were negative on. They were losing money on the account. They lost partnership with Trade of 8 and denied millions of dollars and shut a bunch of accounts down. MD, the way it works is you can continue to have that profit. Let's say you have the Flex account. If you make 10K, you have to log 4 trading days of $150. Then you can get your payout. Since you already have 10K, if you log 5 more days then of $150, then you can get the next payout. But you can also build the buffer to when you go live if you do well enough, and then it goes towards your live account, which is daily payouts. Those who are not bots, smash the like button. Appreciate you hunting pips. But no, there's nothing that tells anyone you have to use a prop firm. What up, AXP? How you doing, brother? Oh, you were on vacation. AXP, have you been home this year? Like, in your residence, whichever one of the 12 we want to refer to? Have you been there at all? Ever? I blew an account by taking too big of a payout, didn't have the cushion afterwards. I'm for the cap, keeps my accounts going longer. Agreed, Rob. Bro, it's summer. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. In summer, usually I go to Turks and Caicos in my yacht and just sit there all day. Yeah, my bad, brother. Forgot about that. Funded seat showing 45% off. Should be 50 with code break. The one of the market's finally moving. It do be AXP popped in as this candle happened. Man, if I make 10K a week, straight to my bank account, our account rules in that at least. MD, if you have an account that you like that gives you the money when you make it, run it. You also have the daily option. There's accounts with uncapped payouts. You just have negative rules that make the account feasible. Like you'll have intraday daily loss limits on certain accounts. That way you can get uncapped payouts. I believe TPT has uncapped payouts. If it's not uncapped, it's like $5,000 or something, 5 or 10K. Chat, I'm just saying, we have been converting people on this stream from NQ to ES. And we got AXP now. Bro, I'm on that ES gang. No more NQ. I can sling 20 minis. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him on our side. No more NQ. We're converting everybody. Mind you, 80% of you, if I put up a poll, will say that you trade NQ. I made the switch. Hell yeah. Cash count is uncapped payouts. It does, Mitzel. It does. Hill Capital. A lot of people like ES because it's a lot more fluid of a name. You're not going to see as much volatility as NQ. You can trade, if you're used to trading NQ, you can actually go to ES and trade larger size simply just because of the risk tolerance. I did the math like a year ago. I think NQ percentage-wise per contract makes like 2 times the amount ES does. So in theory, you can always use more contracts with it, but it's just more fluid. Even if you look at this, ES just sat in a tighter consolidation. NQ barcoded the entire time, spiking new highs, spiking new lows, and just doing that. That's how NQ normally trades. This is how ES normally trades. ES to me is just a lot more smooth of a structure and easier to trade, do analysis on, and manage trades. That's just from my perspective. NQ all the way. Diana, I know you ain't changing. You've been in these since I was doing them in Discord. You ain't leaving NQ. My heart's too fragile for NQ. Early morning from Finland. How you doing, brother? It's 3 a.m. Did you just get up or are you still up? If you're still up, you got the exact same sleep schedule I do. I need to bring Joel on one of these days because he's our Finland guy in the Discord. Yeah, it's definitely worth it, AXP, for sure. I mean, you will never... I don't think I'll ever be Team NQ over ES. It just... I like trading it so much more. Do you trade NQ during New York? No, usually not. If it's during New York, there's going to be more volatility in NQ. You likely need a 50-plus point stop loss for me to be interested in trading. I'm going to trade ES all day. You can use it, like Mitch uses it to scalp for the most part with usual runners that he'll let hold. Yeah, Asia Open does come in less than 2 minutes. You like the toxic relationship you have with NQ. Diana, I have the opposite of a toxic, or I have the opposite side of the toxic relationship with NQ. It never treats me nice. I won't convert. Love my NQ. And Nikki, love the volatility. Also plays my setup really well. If it plays your setup, let it ride. I get shaken out of NQ so often. My problem, like I know I said this earlier on stream and I say this often. My problem is the discrepancy between NQ and MNQ. I'm not going to trade a full NQ contract unless I find an aggressively tight stop. Even if you find 20 points though, which is a very tight stop, it's $400. That's usually like around my max risk tolerance on a trade, 400 to 500. So just most of the time, it doesn't feasibly make sense for me to trade NQ. Because if I trade MNQ, you trade the risk of that discrepancy between the minis and the micros stopping you out when the chart didn't. World News Trends, why are you spamming the thumbs up button, brother? I'm a night owl observing gold currently. What's gold doing? Oh, not indicators. We don't want those. Let's see what Asia does real quick. Nothing yet. Gold. Gold is stuck. Got it. Oil pulling back a little bit. Interesting. Where'd the dollar open real quick? I want to mark this. Technically here. All right, we're back here. Marks. If you just said, whoa, what a dump. Are you on the 1 minute time frame, my guy? I don't know what name you're watching, but that is 15 points on NQ. That is 3 points on ES. We haven't moved, brother. Bro, look at the... Yeah, me too, Mitch. Goes in the middle of that range. Wait. Bro, look at the order, NQ order flow. When I was blasting 6 minis on NQ, would get so much slippage. Can open 20 ES, no slippage. Yeah, XP, that's just the overall volume. You get way better fills on ES, at least from what I've seen as well. I'm micro scalping. I don't even want to know what that is, dude. I hate scalping, let alone micro scalping. So they all follow structure, no matter what. Like they all follow the structure. But NQ will normally have larger wicks, larger moves, more volatility on the lower time frames versus ES. So that's just something I don't love. When I trade NQ the way I trade, If every time I've thrown a break even, I get wicked at break even. And most of the time, if I have a certain stop loss, it'll come down, wick that stop, and then push back higher. I just don't love it. But they all follow structure. For my 6 assets I trade, NQ makes around 40% of my profit alone, sometimes more. Yeah, MD. And trust me, I'm not trying to get people. I'm not out here saying no one should ever trade NQ. Y'all know I always say if you have something or a strategy you like to trade, trade it. Enjoy it, do well. Who cares what anybody else says? And y'all have known from the past 2 days. I appreciate y'all being here, but I do not care what anybody says about any of my trades. It's always important to trade how you want to trade. Scott, what took 15 minutes? Did you type another message that I missed? No. Took 15 minutes from start to finish. I'm going to assume a trade you took. I might divorce NQ after the last couple of days. BL, try it. Try it for a day, maybe even 2. Just see how you feel. All right, the green M4 comp. To be fair, probably one of the most common names out there is Scott. One of the most common last names out there, probably Taylor. I was like, who doxed me? Backseat traders and Jake streams crazy. Oh, if I traded Jake's session with Jake's chat, if you guys think I would read chat that often, I wouldn't. I would just, as soon as I start seeing people critique trades, nah, it ain't worth it. Because you also got to think, like, let's say Jake's in a funk one day and he reads chat. All it is people just bashing his trades. That's not going to do well for the mentals. It just isn't. NQ volatility is nice, but it goes both directions. AXP, I feel like NQ's great for overall trends and the larger moves when you look for them and you like it on it. Like, I guarantee you, if you see a setup that you absolutely love on NQ, you'll probably take it. Oh, Chris, Jake could be in one trade. The last week alone, Jake takes a big winner. The entire trade. People tell him break even. People tell him trim, get out of the trade, do this, do that. So he goes, you know what? Fine, I'll scalp. He starts scalping, wins like 7 trades in a row. You're over trading, and you can't win. That's part of the reason too why I say, like, opinions from other people towards your trading doesn't matter. If I tried to appease the 175-ish people in here, somebody is going to hate my entry. Somebody's going to hate my analysis, and that's just how the world works. What up, Lasagna? How you doing? I'm going to start looking at ES because I notice trades normally watch the ES and trade NQ. Wonder why they don't just trade ES. So the reason, like, I don't, even though I have not traded NQ in probably like 3-4 weeks on stream, I watch it for more conviction within the overall market. I watch this 4-grid to watch how all the indices are doing. I know if NQ is relatively weak or relatively strong, big tech's doing well. And then you just got to take a look at the other broad market, RTY, YM, to see if, all right, if those look good, maybe we get a bigger push across all the indices because they're all moving together. Lovers will love always. I don't blame him for barely engaging. Brandon, it's not even necessarily just the chat, because the chat's awesome at times. It's just when Jake trades more often or more aggressively is when the chat goes absolutely rogue. It's funny though, because you can actively see people get emotional about the trades when he takes them. I guarantee you, if I started ripping 10 ES, we would see some of those comments in here as well. Are we moving yet? No, brother. Check again in like 15 minutes. see if we are then. But it's just people looking at the P&L and getting emotional based off of his P&L on his trades that they're not actively in or a part of. Also, during his streams, he has to lock in. If Jake was an hour and 6 minutes into stream like we are and hasn't taken a trade, he's likely just not executed. Where in our stream, we haven't moved. Even on Jake's, if we range, there's scalping opportunities that he's willing to take. Does ES normally leave? No. So, it's kind of like that's kind of like a question of asking what the best asset to trade is. It depends where the money's flowing. There's days where RTY will lead. There's days where YM will lead. There's days where NQ will lead. It's just the market. Where's the market rotating at the current moment? Like right now, all of the indices are below the open. RTY, YM, NQ, and ES all rejected around the same candle. If this 15 closes more bearish, we may go target yesterday's lows. Even I get emotional on Jake's trades. He's a different trading stretch. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way he trades. One thing to always put in perspective, too, is just everybody's bottom line and what they're willing to risk. Oh, Praga, you can 100% see it when he loses faith in trades. I'm sure you could probably see part of it on my stream as well. If I genuinely lose faith in a trade. But his is definitely apparent when he loses faith in it. I just used a new Ninja Trader lockout feature. See y'all at 9 a.m. See you, Marks. What up, Mitch? Mitch, I saw you shoot the message in Discord. We're moving a little bit, but we're not moving at all. Did have a nice rejection off the open. If Mitch is on stream, though, I'm assuming he's probably at a computer. If Mitch is at a computer, there was likely... Well, hang on, let me check his chat real quick. No, he didn't post anything. I would assume there was likely some gamma resistance around like 55, 56. If he took something, probably would look like this. Probably like a 7.5 to 10 point stop. Likely targeting like these lows, somewhere around there. Maybe a tighter stop based off structure, who knows? This is the extent of my trading. Mitch, you telling me you're not just ripping NQ scalps at your kid's soccer? So it's just conviction, right? You're talking about divergences, conviction. It's just what people like to watch. It's the same reason I watch all of the time frames, or all the time frames, all of the different indices together. Do I have conviction across the whole market? Because that'll give me more conviction to enter into a trade, to be more interested in actively putting on risk. What up, Ron? How you doing? Trying to be present? Well, yeah, Mitch, just nothing like being, good. You fund the soccer match, you then fund the ice cream afterwards, whatever you want to get. You have 2 reasons to celebrate. Now, if you tilt off your ass, probably not going to be a great soccer match. Better late than never, always. Chat, by the way, there's 160-ish of you guys in here. Obviously, I don't have a number up here, and when we don't have a number, you guys don't like to like the stream. But go on the streams, upwards of like 150, 170 likes by the end of it, so we can run a giveaway. Actually, I'm going to do this. See if that person that we're looking for shows up or not. We're putting a number up there. I lowered it because obviously I didn't have it up there and we're not fully on pace, but I have faith in you guys. Aaron, I typically prefer the 5 days for the larger drawdown. Simply because when you get the daily payouts, there's some rule in there that makes it harder to trade those accounts. No Rumo trade alert, no giveaway. Mitch, I showed chat the Rumo thing that I found yesterday on that random ass book map. But no, usually with the daily payouts, there's some rule in there that makes it harder to achieve those. Like intraday drawdowns, whatever it may be. So I typically stay away from those accounts because of those. Ron, did you trade yesterday after 10? What up, Com? How you doing, my man? We got a lot of OGs popping in today. Yeah, Aaron, 5 days, or if you get the Lucid Pros, it's 3 days, depending on what firm you're using. Because they have the 40% consistency. Which I think technically the growth is 5 days as well. Yeah, so I think that's the only one that I trade that's 3 days. But I do have a daily payout account with Funded Seat just because they have end of day drawdown and I haven't seen a rule in there that really sucks. Other than the fact that I have a $1,500 drawdown, but that was just a self-inflicted error. Caught a little move on MNQ and then some overnight with Allen. I saw Allen has been crushing it the past few days. Allen's like, what, 7 or 8-0 right now? Just crushing stream. Rumo, one trap strong, the other one trade strong. Valid. Scalping 3 minis on NQ is diabolical during the overnight session. Oh, yeah, he's used to that. He's willing to risk that, especially because his accounts. Me, on the other hand, I barely scalp 1 NQ, let alone 3. That's above my risk tolerance. I feel like I'm cursed with the Lucid Pros. I'll pass them, blow them, but trade if I select. 5 day has been good to me. Well, I mean this in the most loving way possible. Have you thought about putting a stop loss? So that way you do not blow them right away. Or at least like a limit on your trades. Because that's what I would do. If you have an account, because it's psychological at that point. Like Jake, he has this Lucid curse. That's all psychological. Everyone knows that in general. But if you just make it so it's hard as hell to actually blow the account, then makes it decently easy. TradeWap, if you set your own daily loss limit, I agree it saves accounts. If it's set by the prop firms, I usually don't like it. One, because they're telling me what I'm allowed to lose in a day. And if I want to be a complete degenerate and yeet that account into the sun, let me do it. Because the worst thing is going on a tilt, losing, let's say $1,200, because they usually don't leave it at $1,000. It's usually $1,200, so it's a little bit worse. And if you yeet that, the next day you have 1, maybe 2 trades of risk to save that account, and your back's against the wall. I would rather just blow the account and start over. Full honesty, I would rather just blow it and start over. Indices 15. What are we doing here? 30, 60. Dollar's weaker. Oil's strong, but not strong. Chad, I'm going to take a small, little bit riskier long on ES. I don't know why I say small on every trade. But I'm gonna throw a stop at 50 on it. I'm willing to be a little risky on this one. Yes, we are in more of a downtrend. I'm okay with it. Playing the range that we're currently being given. Ideally, I just want this candle to close strong. If we go anywhere near this candle's lows, I want to be out. Let's just go for a little sub 2R. I'll lose 325 on this account if it stops me. Gold got a little move, got 2 levels of profit. Now I can. Nice. Yeah, gold did get a little pop right to the high of the range. See if NQ can hold above the open or not. If it rejects the open, I'll be stopped. But if it continues to push above the open, we can look for the other indices to kind of follow that, looking for that broader push. But we're putting a little risk on. Yeah, dollar's dropping. That's part of the thesis, MD. Oil is a little bit stronger, but I'm not too worried about it. I beat you to it. Where'd you get in? One HP. We traded yesterday. We took a... Yeah, we won a trade yesterday. What do you do when you feel like the spark is gone and don't feel like trading at all? I mean, there's days where I'm just not interested in the chart, but I would never say I've had a time where the spark is just gone and I physically don't want to trade. I'm actually kind of the opposite. Like, I hate when the market's closed. Screen is not clear. Stop is 50. TP is 59.50. There's a chance if this does break the open, we should, in theory, see a move up to like 64s. I'm not opposed to sliding this up a little bit, but max for me anyway would be actually right there. So 63s. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to throw one trim there. Let's try a little trim today, shall we? So I'm going to put one trim at 59.50 for one of the two contracts. If that fills, cool. If not, oh well. But, and then if we get up to like 63, 64, I'll take the other. All right, stop loss, Bobby. But no, with trading, I haven't lost my spark. I've been in like a bad mindset because I've just been trading like shit, but I've never really lost it. It's just when the markets close, like over the weekends, if I don't have a lot going on, all I want to do is have the charts open. All I want to do is find some type of setup, work on my trading to better myself. So I haven't had a point where I'm like, you know what? I really just don't want to trade this week. But if you do, don't trade. There's absolutely nothing out there that says we need to trade every single day or every week. There have been days, specifically during New York, even on this stream, where I was like, I don't love this price action. Like today. Is this price action A+? No. Not at all. Not even in the slightest. We're just range bound. So if someone's not trading today, I don't blame them. Did you have mentors learning the trade? No. So I was going to answer, then you said besides Jake. No. I've learned from other people, like Brett Simba was technically somewhat of a mentor to me because he's the one that got me into trading and taught me some stuff in the beginning. But a bulk of my trading has just been learning from Jake and then a lot of trial and error. Yeah, 1 HP. Yesterday, we caught the move around here, I think, around 72, 73. Yeah. Somewhere around here, we caught a long for like 8 points, I believe. Somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, we caught the early part of that long. Yeah, good boy NQ. I feel like that's why I love trading. It's just the only person that can make your trading better is you. The only person that can negatively impact your trading is you as well. Jeremy, I'm doing good. How you doing? What up, Mosfab? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing, brother? Haven't had a winning trade this week. I'm like 10-0. BL, size down a little bit. Build that confidence back up. Don't worry about P&L at all. Focus solely on execution. Size down just a little bit till you get it back. You got it. I went on full tilt one day and crashed 11 accounts. Next day, took a break, just paper traded. The break ended up being a month, came back, got 4 payouts on the month I came back. Hell yeah, Scott. Absolutely love seeing that. I know multiple people that have taken time off of trading. I personally have never done that. The most time I've ever taken off is probably around like the Christmas, New Year's time when the market's just not really worth trading for the most part. And that was also 2 years ago when I went to Jamaica. So I wasn't going to trade on hotel Wi-Fi or resort Wi-Fi, whatever it's called. So I just didn't trade much. Yeah, I've never taken a full week off trading. I'm in ES instead of NQ, no stress. That's what we like to hear, brother. That is what we like to hear. You know something I've noticed just in general with streams, and me and Jake were talking about the other day. If I sit here and I'm not in a position at all, you'll see stream numbers like slowly dwindle. The second you enter a trade, they shoot right back up. The second you throw on any risk, any P&L whatsoever, people start flocking to the stream. And then you close the trade, and that group of people just dips immediately. Why is ES so stress-free? I mean, for some people, it's probably just a psychological aspect. It's just not as violent, per se, as NQ on the lower time frames. Like, usually ES, if I get stopped out here, I'll know because we'll start to get a big rejection and slowly trend down. If I'm in this same kind of trade on NQ, when I get stopped out, it's a 2-minute candle that dips down, slams this, buys back up, hits TP, slams all the way back down, and then goes back up again. You got an NQ longs at 634. 34? You need 300 more to pass it or 300 from that to pass it? Chat, I have never traded Forex, so I can't give the exact answer to this. He wants to know, how hard would it be to switch from Forex to options or futures? I feel like futures would be very easy. Options, you have to learn a whole new instrument to understand the underlying aspect of options in general and the Greeks. Not crazy hard to learn. It's more of time in the charts and time in the contracts to learn that. But futures would probably be fairly simple. What do you expect for CPI? How do you trade it? G-Pagan, with CPI, I can answer both of those in the exact same response. I do not care what that chart does. I wouldn't be shocked if it was more so like priced into the market already, unless we get a crazy drop that nobody anticipates with CPI. Like if it comes in hot, then I would anticipate we pull back aggressively. But I feel like a majority of it's already going to be priced in. Trading wise, I don't plan to trade it. I won't be on the charts or even opening a chart before CPI happens. The latest I'll typically open a chart on a news day is going to be like 8:35, 8:45. How do I take a trim on trade C on mobile? I'm in the same trade. Zach, what I do is on the right side of the chart, I hit a plus. I don't know the mobile aspect though. If it's like trading view, you just go on the chart, hit the little plus and do sell a contract. If you need to just trim one or whatever, you just change your position sizing. Trade swap, it depends. Lately, I have in fact been trading options more than futures. Just because market conditions to me have been more favorable for options. Because there's been a lot of individual names making really nice moves you can capitalize on. But when the overnight market's hot, I'm primarily futures. So I rotate between primarily futures and primarily options. Yeah, right now I do trade options more than futures. Aaron, it does. And I've noticed that as well. And I tell people that, at least from my experience. And it's because you have to focus a lot more on overall execution and entries on futures than you do options. I can enter an options trade at any point during this consolidation as long as my strike and expiration are decent. I can hold through this entire thing and not have a single care in the world. Where futures, you could get a wrong entry. Like you can buy an option right here and be fine on this pullback. Will you be a little red? Yeah. But if you get the right strike and expiration, that does not faze me whatsoever. If you buy here on futures, you're likely stopped here. And that's just why that helps with the execution when you're going from options to futures. Trade swap, I'm gonna be honest. I barely use 5K in my options account. I withdraw my options account aggressively. But I'll use like $3,000 in my options account because unless I'm taking a farther expiration, I'm not going to have $3,000 of risk in a single position. So I'm not going to keep that money in there. That's just the way my brain works with it. I have no problem if I need to putting money into it, but I withdraw most of my profits. You can trade, depending on the size you want to use, you can trade with a few thousand on options. It's not crazy hard. Obviously, just make sure no matter what you put in any brokerage, you're willing to risk. Jag, to avoid theta decay in ranges like this, like if you're talking this range, you can go next day, 2-3 days out, whatever you want to do. Most of the time, I'll do, like if it's today, I'll do either Wednesday or Friday expiration. Today I had SPY put spreads when we were up around here, and I had Friday expiration on those. And I ended up just closing them along this move down. But yeah, it depends on what I'm trading and when I expect the move to happen. If I expect the move to happen that day, I can go next day, maybe 2 days out. If I expect it to happen over the next few days, I'm probably going to go end of week, maybe mid next week. Tate, nothing wrong with that. Like if I wasn't already in, I wouldn't be overly eager to jump in a trade here. AXP, that sounds absolutely miserable. But see you tomorrow, brother. When NVIDIA strike price is low, best believe Ron is trading options. Aaron, you're not wrong. The problem is NVIDIA is coming into that beautiful thing that we like to call earnings, and it's going to make it really hard for me to trade it. So I'm going to have to wait till post NVIDIA earnings to actually rip it again. I've been trading Tesla a little bit, and then I've been trading SPY a little bit. Most Fab, what do you mean? Is the position you're talking about the same as the gambling trading? I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know what pocket option is. Christopher, that's something I really don't do often is sell options. Obviously, I have to sell a leg if I'm doing a spread or a fly, but I usually don't sell spreads. which I know you can capitalize some decent money with those. For futures, do you take trades in other sessions too? If they look good and depending how I do on this session. Since I am on 3 different firms right now, I do a decent job of rotating between my accounts. So I'm not aggressively trading one session or all of them at once just because of the market conditions we've had. If I do well during Asia, I usually don't trade early New York unless I absolutely love it. Is this an active trade? Yes. Unless I absolutely love it, but it depends on structure. Right? If I take a loss in Asia and then I go to New York and it looks terrible and I'm not overly interested, I'm not going to trade it. I mean, most fab, it's not. If you look at it like that, everything we do would be considered gambling. Because right now I'm predicting the price goes up on this. But I have an educated thesis and a reasoning that I believe it would be more in my favor based off of what we're currently doing to go to the upside. So it'd be, I mean, if you're talking with options, you're taking contracts against 100 share lots on the underlying name, saying this, I believe this will go to this by this time and this date. Anyone else been on a cold streak the past few weeks? Zacho, a few people have been, for sure. I've seen it in chat. BL. I mean, you chose one of the slower, not slower moving, but slower than NQ moving name to trade during a very slow session. So yes. No, most fab options, you can close whenever you want. I can open an option and close it 2 seconds later. It's just another way to trade the market. Usually I make profits during Asia and give it back in New York. Hunting pips. Sounds like you know the root cause of your losses. If you're finding you're giving a mass majority of your profits away in New York, but you're making a majority of your profits during Asia, don't trade New York. Absolutely zero reason. Especially if you're, let's say you're EST or just somewhere US time zone based. You have an entire day to do whatever the hell you want because you did well in the overnight. Yeah, if you don't do well during New York, don't trade New York. Simple. No, most fab, it's not gambling. It's actually trading. All right, Chad, let's see if we can finally get over this little area here as we continue to consolidate. RTY actually just hit new lows. So that name's a little bit weaker right now. Dollar retesting the open. If it breaks the open, not ideal. Yeah, if this holds strength on oil and the dollar gets above the open, we will likely see this get stopped out. If neither of those happen, we could see enough conviction to at least get us up to here. NQ breaking new highs is a good start. I have the perfect size risk on this trade. Just went out, cut some Chardon Garden, made some cheese mayo, sriracha chards. Hell yeah. That's how you know you're comfortable with the size you're using, when you're willing to enter a trade and do anything else but stare at the screen. No. It's not possible to deposit $30 in futures and scalp it to 110, because even the smallest margin requirements on, let's say, ES are $50 per contract. So you would need that plus the money you're willing to risk, because if you get down to $50, the account will liquidate you. But you can throw a couple hundred in and scalp it up. Like I've taken trades with an account that had 150 bucks in it before. What do you think for Amazon? Amazon was strong going into today. Stronger, at least, when I initially looked at it. Basically, I mean, if it breaks this structure, if we get back below like 270s, it's probably going to see some decent drawdown towards like back towards 260s. But if we do hold this, you're just looking to buy the support for the break in all-time highs. I don't hate Amazon to all-time highs. You just need more conviction that this support's actually going to hold. So if it does hold this support, show a valid reasoning that it has that conviction. Let's say even with the indices going higher, I'm not opposed to taking some type of swing. Enter around 270, 271s. Look for a move up to like 285, 290s. Going to depend on the whole market though. I tried some swing with that support. We just did the exact same thing. Zontana, is that supposed to say you trade options too? If so, yes. I trade options a lot during the New York time. That push did it for me. 1 minute. Hell yeah, Diana. Am I late today? Any active trades? Shab, you see it on stream. I have that trade on ES. The open P&L is right below my picture. So I am in one trade on ES at the moment, seeing if we can get continuation or not. If we stay range bound and head to the low end of the range, I'll be stopped. If we end up getting to the upper end of the range, may see some profits. Who knows? Gold seems to be good for long. Gold seems good for long anytime soon for me. Yeah, gold's holding well. Talked about earlier on the stream, if we get above the open, this could see some continuation. Nice 4 hour, nice hourly. Oil still not moving. Dollar trying to fight the open. I'd like to see that reject if this is going to continue. RTY still pushing lower. Not overly in love with that. But doesn't mean trade it can't work. Gold's in range. Miguel, there's absolutely no reason to be screaming right now. Absolutely none. Well, I mean, are you classifying the higher time frames as a range? If so, I would actually argue gold is the least range bound asset. This is gold's 4 hour chart. It was in a range down here. If you're talking about the low time frames, even so, gold's technically trending, trying to form an uptrend, while every other name looks like this at the moment. So I'd say gold's like the least range bound out of all of them. Boring Asia market? Agreed. Think I'm done with Asia forever? Valid. Valid. I will say the past 2 weeks and possibly a couple of days going forward, this will get a lot of people to either hate Asia market or never trade it again. So we'll see how many stick around come like a week or two. But no, Asia's been slow. If I would have held this trade for the upside, I would have took a nasty blow. Were you short? Yeah, Sin. I mean, when you compare any market time frame to New York, yeah, it would have printed 100%. You're talking a market with drastically less volume and volatility overall compared to quite literally the highest volume, most volatile market time that we have. But yeah, right now, lately, the past 7 Asia sessions have primarily been range bound. When Asia moves, though, it'll move. It just hasn't been very eventful lately. It goes through phases. $15 doesn't look too good. We'll see how it closes. But it's like you look away from the charts, use the restroom, then boom, it moves. That's because due to the low volume, or you're talking about Asia or New York? Because during the low volume, you don't need a lot of orders to come in to actually see a decent move. Like if we saw a few larger orders pop in, ES could shoot up 15 points in 2 minutes without any hesitation. Where during New York, you need a lot of orders, but New York has a shitload of orders to help move it. But that's why we'll get those faster pops when we're very low volume, range bound in these kind of sessions. Yep, that's why whenever I trade Asia, my expectations, if you've been on stream at all the last week, have been hit and run. I don't have home run-esque mindsets. I think this is the first trade that I've been looking to trim in probably the past week and a half. This 2 minute goes to 680, it's going. Yeah, but you need a decent move to get it to 680. The main reason I'm saying that is just because of the candles we're putting in, right? There's been 2 larger 2 minute candles, one here, one there, other than this sell candle, so 3. And if you're looking at this, most of these candles, we'll just grab a random one, are 11 to 20 points. I will say that is aggressively small, but that is way smaller than Asia usually is. Normally, ES isn't stuck within a 7-point range. We usually have a range in which we can catch 10, 15, 20-ish points on Asia. We're just not moving because the higher time frames are stuck. With that being said, though, there's nothing wrong with looking at this session, seeing what we've gotten, and not trading it again until you see a trending session. Nothing wrong with that. I like Asia less stressful. It is, drastically. Drastically less stressful. I like Asia, one, because I can trade at night, and I'll enter a trade and do whatever I want to do and not care about staring at a chart. During New York, I feel like I have to be near the chart for the most part, at least when I get in a trade. If I'm off stream, I will literally enter a trade, put a stop, put a take profit, minimize the broker, minimize the chart. I could care less. Rake was locked in today. I'm pretty sure Rake was struggling and clinging on to life today on stream. That man said he was tired, and by the end of stream, he did not look like he was feeling okay. What's kind of crazy though, for me, some of my biggest and best trading days of my career have come off of sleep-deprived days. Minus 1300 in an eval. How many trades have you taken? Yeah, 1 HP. That's what you can do too. We're in this range, obviously. We're currently stuck. This session has moved 7.5 points. That's why my target is not 15 points on this. Because 15's not a good expectation when the market hasn't been moving. But if we do break, I do think we could see a move up to like 63, 64s, in which I would look to take a runner off if we get that fill on the first contract. He was kind of sick, but his something else when it comes to trading. Yeah, Jake's phenomenal at trading. I got in a trade before him, got up before him, got back, got caught in the morning chop. I was sick. I mean, it's what's happening in the market. I feel like a lot of people are getting chopped out, destroyed just in the markets we've been getting. Asia's been heavily consolidating. New York has been trending some days, but you're also seeing a lot of bigger reversals. Because yes, we made a few days of really, really nice price action. But then we went right back into the daily ranges. ES is obviously ranging above. NQ, if you look, it's ranging in the exact same range as before. So we just got right back to the same price action, continued this daily range that a lot of people blew up and didn't do well in. So until we get a continuation out of that, I expect the same thing to continue. I feel like this year is probably harder for a decent amount of people because this is a year where you definitely have to adapt very quickly in the market. Like we were heavily range bound, then we got 4 days of trend, and then we haven't moved since because it's just been range bound. And you have to notice it coming, build the thesis of, all right, this could range, or you see a range for a day, and then lower expectations. August is going crazy. I don't know about going crazy. Options have been well for me. Futures, I mean, I'm green in August on futures, but it's not. I haven't taken a payout yet, so technically I'm not green on futures. I'm just green on accounts. But I haven't been doing bad in general. Just a lot smaller trades. Like you guys have seen, normally I have no problem looking for 15, 20 points in Asia. I am actively targeting 6 on a trade. If you go back a month, I would probably shit talk a 6-point trade. Seven-point range all sesh for ES. Yeah, Cab Lasagna, I'm looking for that entire range right now. 6 points. Give it to me. Yeah, most of that's why a lot of times on these recent streams, I'm willing to be slightly aggressive on an entry. Because you're, especially with the tighter ranges, one, you don't have a drastic amount of potential for continuation yet, at least because it hasn't proven it. So you have to be a little more aggressive with the entries if you want a tighter stop. This entry, I would say, was a little late in general, but I'd still willing to take the risk on it. Thankfully, Strat set up surviving. Love to see that, MD. Made a whopping $43. Called a night. Good luck, y'all. See you later, NQ Trader. Congrats on your 43 bucks. I mean, it's better than losing money. I'll give you that. Chat. I don't know if you guys looked or not. I don't know if you guys are actually liking. I mean, I wish there was a chart for the likes. I guess the numbers make sense, but we did shoot up a decent amount on likes. Technically, by the poll, because I wasn't watching the likes. I don't know if it's botted or not. You need 2 more likes for a giveaway. I can't tag the one guy who we think is view botting and like botting, so we might not be here. I'm so happy I'm not trading my fund. It would have blown up by now. Nothing wrong with not trading your fund at all. I mean, you guys have watched me trade evals the past few days. That's what I think these conditions currently deserve. Evals. I still want to say how much I love the assets price banner. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, a lot of the streams are using it now. I like seeing it. I love seeing them use the little aspects that we're helping make for them to make the streams look better. This is set to 1 minute for Jake. Chat, we're going to do 3 minutes. It's not up yet. You'll see when it's up. What up, Dev? Really strong resistance on the area we're in. Sellers really want to sell. Yeah, most of that. There's a heavy resistance right here. It's proven on this lower time frame. If we push down and I get it stopped, oh well. It's part of the job. And that's how a lot of people should be, especially during these conditions. If we're range bound, be willing to eat a stop. Be willing to eat 2 stops. I'm at the point now, though, if I also open the giveaway. If I take a stop on this account, I'm locking this account out till tomorrow. I don't care if I lose $300 and that's it. That account's done. Because this is a very easy condition to blow up accounts in. I'll lock this one out, rotate to a different one. But chat, giveaway is open. All you have to do is exclamation mark, enter, the word enter, and then send it in the chat to be entered. You have 3 minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. I see we still have not made any movement. How many people we got in? 70 so far. You guys have 1 minute left to enter. Exclamation mark the word enter, send it in the chat. It is going to be a 50K Tradeify growth account. Let's see, what do these look like? Yeah, YM hitting new lows, RTY hitting new lows. We'll probably take a stop here on this one. Oil hitting new highs, dollar pushing up. Yeah, we're going to eat a stop for sure. Just looking at all the charts, I lean towards like a 96% chance I eat a stop. If it doesn't, cool. But I'm already expecting that. Double it and give it to the next. Joanna, I don't think I can do that. Technically, I probably could. But I think Jake's more so that one that can give all those away. So chat, if you win and you've won before, or you don't want it, you don't say double it and give it to the next person. We'll give that one account to someone else. I ain't got the funds to give it to the next person or double it. The winner is Brandon's 05. My man, you were just commenting earlier in stream. Were you the one that said that you were in a trading funk? Also, have you won before? I'm pretty sure you were just saying you were in a trading fund. Also, I also want to note this man has been in this stream nearly every single day. We live by Romo's alerts. All right, I don't know if I wanted to read that message. Oh, no, I don't think you were the one that said you were struggling. Who knows? You might be struggling. Anyways, I don't believe... Yeah, you said you haven't won before. Been here since the kick days. But the question is, Brandon, were you... No. So Jake has the funded seat accounts. Those are his that he gives away. I have Tradeify Growth that I'm giving away. So, Brandon, it will be a Tradeify Growth 50K. If you want, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. You should know, right? You've been in stream since the beginning. But the real test is how much of an OG and avid viewer did you watch the gambling streams? Because there was one. I don't think Spencer's here because I haven't seen him type. There was a time, Jake, 2 days in a row, by the way. Jake and Zach Austin were up till, I think, 4 in the morning gambling live on Kick. Me and Spencer were some of the only like 2 to 3 people in the chat that entire time just watching Jake and Zach yeet thousands of dollars on a gambling site. What up, Miss Kate? Bet Brandon. Brandon, shoot me a DM on Instagram or Discord if you're in there. Either works. Just let me know when you send it. And speaking of DMs, Trish Trades NQ, if you're here, you still have not DM'd me. Degenerate gambler. Yeah, MD. I mean, it was a Saturday. It's not like they were doing it on a Tuesday. But it's good keeping the gambling away from trading. Nothing wrong with gambling, as long as you're okay with it. As long as you don't lose your house, gamble all you want. What up, Rain? Hope you're doing well. Not probably man enough to say it. You know, Rain, I really thought that was going to go a different direction. I'm not mad I read it. I'm mad I read farther into it. Towards the end. Mad I read that part of that comment. But, you know, it happens. It happens. Just enough to paint. Rain, I will say, you never disappoint. Never. I wish I was joking, but here we are. Rain, it happens to the best of us, my man. It does. What matters the most in that situation is location, though. Because if it was in a bad location, that's a terrible event. Terrible time. Got you, Brandon. I will send that right after stream. Most Fab, are you trying to claim the giveaway account from Sunday that someone hasn't DM'd me yet for? Oh, Rain, if it's your bathroom, that's just operator error. You had the facilities and you just executed poorly. All right, chat. So far, we're just not going anywhere on the session. No matter what, if I'm still in this when stream ends, I'm just going to leave it open, right? It's 325 of risk. It's not crazy. And if it hits, it hits. Cool. What I might do is just put full exit up at, well, no. If I hold through all this, I'm still going to trim and execute that way. So I'll still leave it how it is. Worst trade of my 36 year of my life. Fair. The account does not have a partner. It has a partner, they just haven't accepted it yet. Chat, I should have left the likes at 170 because you guys just hit it. And I appreciate it. Trust me, the likes, at least on my stream, don't go unnoticed because that's how we grow. Those of you guys that found us from YouTube, that's how you were able to find us. Because the more engagement in chat, the more engagement on stream that you get, even if it's the little emoji things in the bottom of chat, it all helps. It all helps get us some reach, grow some love. It's how we got to 40,000 subscribers, which is crazy to think. Because we're what? Month 4 of this? And I think we started around 20K subscribers. All emojis? Well, it's debatable because I don't know. There's probably something you're thinking of. So I don't have an exact answer to that question until I see it. Either way, as long as chat's not crazy, y'all know I'm not going to do anything. Except maybe the occasional 10-second timeout. I will dish those out just for the love of the game. So RTY and YM swept the lows thus far. But will we get continuation? I know, CX, you're good. That makes tons of sense. I found a lot of streamers trying to find somewhere worth hanging in. And I know I've said this every day, but I mean it. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys DM us all the time, or at least DM me all the time, saying how beneficial the stream is, and it means more than you guys know. Got Streamlabs doing the marketing. Hell yeah. Chad, I'm curious. Those of you that are still on here, obviously there's still 160 on, which is crazy to think about. And I'm not talking the number aspect. I'm talking about the fact that ES has been in a 7-point range for over 3 hours now. And there's still 160 of you guys just hanging around for fun. What's your guys' favorite prop firm? I'm not recording this. I'm not doing a poll in general. If you want to just throw it in chat. Moke, you always hop in too late. Where's it dinner for today? Hunting Pips. I have to go to the store, so probably if I think about the food that I currently have, and I'm going to get judged for this. So probably like 3 golden potatoes, maybe 2, depending on the size. 8 scrambled eggs and a packet of tuna. I am living the high life, my guy. The high life. Golden potatoes are the tits, especially with an air fryer. W meal, not gonna lie. Well, also because you put I have a little of the what's his name? What Joey Swole's honey sriracha sauce that I got from the supplement place that I go to. Crazy good. Throw a little bit of Parmesan cheese on that, and you got yourself a decent meal. I'm back in NQ. I thought you were done trading Asia. See, chat, this is what NQ does to you. You give up on it, and you're back within an hour. I've only ever traded Lucid. Love it. So far, my fund of futures, I got a payout there. So we have couple top step, not a lot. A lot of TPT, Lucid, my fund of futures. Tradeify, figures. TPT, Lucid, TPT. Trade Seat is my favorite. Hey, wait, Trade Seat. Fuck you, Vish. It took me a second, but fuck you, Vish. Yeah, 1 HP, we got lemon pepper too. Bro, I'm still here to watch. Appreciate you, Hunting Pips. Appreciate you. I closed the yes and going back to NQ also. Well, BL, good luck on your next adventure. Also, Lucid is by far my favorite. Only been trading since April. So I've only taken payouts from Lucid, Top Step, and Next Gen. Wait, 1 HP. You've been trading for 4 months and you've already taken payouts from 3 different prop firms? Sir, do you know how crazy that is? Solo, I usually do have sriracha. I usually put either sriracha or like Frank's Red Hot on everything, just for flavor. But do you know how crazy it is to get payouts from 3 separate prop firms in your first 4 months of trading? Like, that is insanely impressive. Strategy for Asia and session in general. G Pagan, it's the exact same for every session. It's just, what are my expectations on the session? But it's multi-time frame analysis and individual structure, or like general structure. Why was I willing to take this long? We held the support we were talking about in the beginning, started to push higher when we filled this low. Swept the lows of the session, got bought back up on ES and NQ, which is looking for a continuation. Sriracha with Parmesan cheese is crazy. Chris, I'm going to put you onto something, and nobody's allowed to judge it until you try it. You get yourself some dates. Obviously, you cut them open, you pit them, take the little pits out. Get a nice little slice of Parmesan cheese, you know, the blocks of it. Cut up the Parmesan cheese, put it in the middle of the dates. One of the greatest snacks you could ever have. So you said dates? Dates are good. Dates are like my dessert because I don't usually eat a lot of sweets. But no, it is. I'm judging it. You judge all you want. You can judge all you want. It is one of the greatest combinations. It's also good for you. Aren't dates for old people who can't poop? Well, I don't think so. Maybe it helps you. I don't know. No, it's prunes. There you go. Dates and bacon. Chris, that could be the same aspect because it's with you're going with the sweet and the savory and salty aspect of it. So you're kind of just mixing those together. Cranberry sauce is pretty top tier. You lost me there. Cranberry anything is overrated. On a taste profile, it's just overrated. Dates are good for... All right. Taking 6 payouts in total, but all minimum payout sizes. 1 HP. I would agree with you that it was beginner's luck if it was your first account. The fact that you've taken 6 payouts across 3 prop firms in 4 months isn't going to be beginner's luck. My beginner's luck lasted 2 weeks in trading. Even vodka cranberry, yeah. You know what's crazy? Chad, does anyone remember the date of the New York meetup? Was it August last year? Because if so, because that was the last time I drank. So I might have not drank anything in a year. And it's not even me just saying, oh, I'm not drinking alcohol. I just don't drink a lot. How do you deal with the emotions of having your funded accounts on the last 40% of the drawdown? Punt them? No, just size down. Just size down in general. If you want to save the account, if you think that, like, there's a point. If I don't care about the account anymore and it has like $500 in drawdown, maybe I'll throw a punt trade on. If I still want to keep the account and trade it well, I'll slowly grow it back. I'll likely just open another account to trade with it. I was at the New York meetup. Is that you in your profile picture? Because it looks familiar. But there's also at the meetups, dude. It's one of the most surreal things because I think the last meetup was 200 or 300 people. And I might know 15 of them before the meetup. Have to try it on your Jesus. I don't even know, because I know what you mean by that. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, if that's your thing, brother, good for you. But keep them dogs away from me. I'm so done with this. Quit. Don't do it. Don't trade NQ, especially during Asia session. I didn't really know anyone. That's the point of it, though. It's there to meet people. Like, I had so many different conversations with people deeply in depth, and I love doing it. Just paying 1.5 levels on gold as it approached the pivot while waiting for ES trade to play out. Hell yeah. Yeah, gold's doing well. We talked about gold getting strength earlier. I am unfortunately still in this trade. I will still be in this trade when stream ends, most likely. The NQPA is so tricky tonight. It's just range bound for the most part. Are we going to have a Project 365 meetup at the end? I believe so. I believe Jake's plan is a big meetup at the end, but I also don't know. I quite literally know as much as you guys. Yeah, Jesus, I know exactly what you were talking about, and that is why I said what I said. But I would assume his plan is a meetup at the end of it. I haven't asked him about it, though, so I genuinely don't know. I could easily ask him, but that's in 8 months, so I ain't worried about it. Jesus is going absolutely rogue. Still in it, might tighten the stop soon. If we get above here, I could see a thesis of tightening the stop. And I mean like actual conviction above. I'm likely not moving the stop till we get above the open. We get above the open, I have no problem going break even. Especially if we hit like where I'm targeting a trim. Boomer index lagging behind. I think boomer index and RTY. Yeah, YM's currently lagging behind. RTY is holding a little bit. What I would be leaning more towards at this point is the 4-hour close. Wait for that to close, especially if NQ closes a little bit stronger. Ideally, ES breaks above its 4-hour. We'll see, though. But if it does, we can get a decent continuation, which is why I'm willing to hold a runner if we get up there. For now, though, I have low expectations. Yeah, that's where I usually tighten. Agreed. However, today, I might want to get stopped out early. Solo, I do not blame you. Now, mind you, it's not like I'm targeting a crazy amount. I am targeting 6 points and have been in this trade for an hour. And we are at break even. With that being said, I think I'm going to call it a stream because the market ain't doing shit. ES is the boomer index. YM is greatest generation index. ES is not the boomer index. Not at all. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream. I'm gonna leave this trade, right? My initial target is 77, 59, 50s. I have one contract to go off there. If we get up towards 64s, I'm taking the other one off. If I get stopped, I get stopped. Is what it is. But I'm gonna leave this open. I'm gonna call it a night. And yeah, Alan will be on 1 a.m. Eastern like usual, 10 p.m. PST, and I'll be back on tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys being here. 150 you guys still on, which I love to see. Stay till you win. No. Jeepers. With the way the market's moving, that could be in 4 hours. Not doing that. Not doing that. I seriously like the fact that you are long biased. Me too. While the TikTok streams are in shorts right now. Well, there's a difference. Even though I could be wrong. I have no problem being wrong. But for me, I mean, there's a big difference between traders who have an influence and influencers who trade. But y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Worth it. Jeepers. It is not worth it, my guy. It is not worth it to stay on until that target either hits or stops me out. But I'll see y'all tomorrow.